Sheree here. Welcome to my channel. I am going to participate in an open collaboration hosted by Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming and Susan from Susan Hiles Art. And it is titled #stencilwithus. So it's using your stencils to make journaling cards, tags, pockets, altered paper clips, or clusters. So anyway, each week there's a prompt. So you'll want to go to the announcement on either one of their channels and watch both of them and their descriptions of the collaboration. So today is create a masterboard with your stencils and make journaling cards. I have this folder and I thought if we're making a journaling card, we're going to want to write on the back of it, right? So, okay, so I've cut off just this. So this is going to be my masterboard. I'm going to put the paint and the stencils or ink on this side. I'm going to look and see what I have, because if we use paint, then I'll have to spend some time letting it dry. So, and if I Mod Podge paper down, I'll have to do the same thing. So let me see how I want to get started. Okay, so I think I'm going to just start laying down paint, kind of just get in the mood for what's going to happen. And while I'm spreading paint and starting to go through the motions, can decide if I'm going to put papers down or just paint and then start stenciling. So, and you can use your brayer, which is a lot of fun. You can also use your jelly plate if you have one. But I'm going to just spread some paint around. And right now I'm using a Martha Stewart metallic. I think I picked these up at Walmart. After you've laid down the first layer, you want to go ahead and let that dry. If not, you'll just end up making mud. So we'll give this just a second. So now I have, trying to get the glare off, a blue metallic from Folk Art. It's called Ice Blue. And I don't want to keep mushing it so that they blend together. Just want to leave this right over the top. But I do want the background to be light, which is why I picked these colors. So when we start stenciling, we will have a light enough background that the stencils show through really well. I mean, you can have a dark background and stencil light colors. And of course, brushing it on here would probably make it less rough. I don't know if you can see it with the glare. Just from the brayer though, it's, you know, it's not perfectly smooth, but I kind of like that. But we just want to make sure that we can stencil properly. Okay. I'm going to put just a little one here. Just roll that around. And again, I may cover all of this with paper here in just a minute, but I like to start with this process just to get the energy started. So while I'm doing this and talking to you, I'm thinking about what stencils I have over there, what I'm going to use, what inks I want to use, that type of thing. So, you know, you just can start the process. Even when you're laying papers down and you're piecing, you're just starting the energy, you're starting the flow of the project. You're thinking in your mind what you want to place on there, how you're going to cut it. So if you know you're going to cut just 3 journaling cards, then when you start to lay down images, you know, you can keep that in mind. You don't want to put a big bird right here if you're going to cut it here, unless that's how you want it, of course. The front of the bird here and the back of the bird there. But the fun part about a masterboard is that you don't have to think about that stuff. So yes, you can say, oh, I'm going to make 3 journaling cards. Like this is what I think I'm going to do here. I think we're going to get 3 whole ones. But otherwise, you just put stuff down just generically. Grab things that are there in your little box of scraps and start placing them on the paper. And then when you cut it out, then you can put down more specific images on the cards or the tags or the ATCs, the envelopes, whatever that you're going to cut your masterboard up into. So I think I'm going to let it dry and then we'll start seeing what we can do about stenciling. All right, when you don't have a heat gun, you get the trusty hair dryer out. I have these stencils in my stash here. I love this one. And since we have a pretty big area, let's try this one. And since the theme is stenciling, I'm going to do my best to maybe not lay down so much paper and just see if we can make it pretty just using stencils of different kinds. So we'll see. And in the end, if I don't like it, then all you have to do is start over, right? So I like the blues and the silver. So in the background, I'd like to have a dark color. And that could either be the purple that we're already using. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not great at this, so we could just hope for the best. And my paper is a little wavy, so it's better that your background be flat. And so I'm just going to dab the stencil so I don't get too much ink underneath the actual stencil itself. And we'll get the purple layer down, then we'll start to put other colors on top. Okay, definitely need to wash that real quick. All right, I like those colors, so we're gonna let this dry and then we'll see what we're going to add next. So I think 2 yellows, they're almost the same color. This one's a little brighter, this one's a little more of a mustard color. Oh hey, they're the same color. They don't look the same color in the bottle, but the names are the same. I guess they were made at different times. But okay then. We're gonna put this down. So now, do I want a big stencil or I want to try these? And again, whatever I cut out might not include all of that, but you don't know in the beginning, so you just want to try it. And then if you cover it with something later, then that's okay. It probably will show through a little bit, or you'll like whatever you've covered it with better. So, but it doesn't hurt to just start here and get your project and how you feel about it. All right, so that's what we have so far. So even if I cut one card, that's going to get most of that. This one's going to get that one. So we probably want to put something in the middle. So when we cut the cards, we'll have something here in the middle. So let me dry this real quick. Okay, we're going to continue with the gold just to get the middle covered. And then we will move on to a different color. I like it. Okay. So then even though it's a little wavy, the back is still okay so that we can journal on it. So again, you want to make sure your bottom layers are dry, because now I'm at the stage where I'm going to be overlapping, and if something is wet, then it's just going to smear and we're just going to not have a very pretty image. So feels a little odd because I don't do this, and so I feel like the pressure is because I'm on camera and if I mess up. But you know, if you watch my channel, I share the good and the bad with you, so if I make a mess, you're going to be here with me to see it. And then lots of pretty colors so far. So if you can imagine it cut into a card, and then once we cut it into cards, then we can put some little images or something on there to finish off the card. But because it's going to be a journaling card, you want it to be able to lay flat so that you can write on it. Okay, I practiced with this heart really quick. That way, if I broke out into tears, if I ruined it, you wouldn't have to witness that. So if you can see, I used this dark blue also with the stencil, and it didn't, you can't tell it's a heart, but the heart's really cute, but you can tell that there's a design here. So I'm going to try that just for a little bit, just getting some more noise in the background. Not that we're not real busy here, but let's just fill in some spaces. So I'm going to finish covering the front of this page, and I'll be right back and show you what it looks like. I have this stencil here, which is a butterfly and a clock, and I have it upside down because guess who didn't clean it last time they used it. So all I've done is lay it over the top, and once we cut it up, you might not be able to tell that's a butterfly, but I'm going to try to place where you get at least a part of it in each card that we cut out. I think it's very wet. Really. Okay. So now I also got my stencil frame there. But that's okay. We'll keep going forward. While I was drying it with the hairdryer, some of the wet ink started to move, which I love. That adds another design that we weren't really planning on. So that's awesome. But now my page looks a little more green than I think I intended it to, although I love it. So I'm going to layer a little bit more over the top, and then I think we'll cut it into individual cards and finish off the cards that way. So let's see what we can add here real quick. So that's a lot of color. That's a very busy background, but I love it. I think the colors came out really pretty. You can see a little bit where we did the heart stencil. You can still see the butterfly in the background. You can still see the gold. So let me move over to the cutter. It's a Gantine cutter and it's too big to bring over here. So let me cut this into cards and we'll finish them up. I cut them at 3.5 by 6.5. That leaves me these little pieces to either make ATCs for another prompt, or even this little strip. I can use them in the clusters that we make later in the month or something like that. So, all right. So I did get paint on there, but you could still write on it if you needed to. It looks like it would be something I would make that would be messy on the back. So, still plenty of room to write. Let's see what we could do. And I think I want to round the corners. Let's see if we can put it down the edges here. It says, "You make me smile." Let's just see how stamping goes, and if it goes okay, then we'll add black by stamping. So doesn't stand out too much, but of course my colors are very dark. So let's see. Oh, that's cute. All right, let me find one more stamp and see what we can do. Okay, so I pulled these little stamps here, and you want to give it just a second for your paper to pick up the ink. Okay. And because I already stamped that one on the side, I'll just add something to the other two. Let's see what else I have. They kind of look like an area rug to me that you would have in the living room. And then maybe I try to add, when I'm adding, I try to add it in like 3 sections so your eye goes all around the project. Okay, I just take a second to dry the cards really well. And now I'm going to just ink the edges here. All right. Now, the backs again have paint on them just because my glass had bits and pieces of paint. Otherwise, it would be pretty and plain back there with the lines on it from the file folder. And a blank file folder is like the most popular thing, I believe, that everyone uses because it's sturdy enough to hold the paint. You know, just make sure you dry in between layers, and then, you know, you can write. The back of it would be solid. So that's all that I cut up was a file folder. It just happened to have the lines on it because it was for documenting a project. So, oh my goodness, they're kind of cute. Let's see. And then, of course, I'm going to lay them flat in a book on top of them or something like that. So we're digging through what used to be in a little book box I had, but now it's just too much. So here we are. Let me dig through here and see if I can find some cute stuff to add here. I can't decide. Like, I cannot figure out why it is bothering me, because they are basically just like tags. And I do that all the time. I do ATCs all the time, journal pages. These have me a little stumped. I've already started gluing, so I'm going forward with this. So I did trim them down a little bit. They were too big, so that was part of what was bothering me. So I have this little date stamp, and I think I'm going to put it right here. I wonder, I feel like I want to do some more marking on it, but it's not really clear all the way around. And I do have the "You Make Me Smile" here. So let's just see what happens if we add some dashes. So every layer that you add to a project, of course, there's more interest, more texture. So when something is cute like it is, and then you add some markings, most of the time it adds to it and it makes it even better. So that's good, and I'm still flat enough to write. So that's good. So there's 2. All right. So I'm going to put this little card on here because it is so cute. I don't even know where I got it. That looks like something one of my grandkids would have given me or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's super cute, so it's going on here. I think they're cute. I like the colors. I really do like the stenciling in the background, how it came out. That was a lot of fun to do. I'm going to try to do that more often in my projects. Of course, this week we're going to do a lot of stenciling, right? Because we're all going to join the collaboration with Susan and Sheree and make wonderful works of art here. And then, what do you do with yours when you're done? When you're done with all these and you don't trade them or give them away, what I do is either put them in my art journal in one of my pages, or I'll try to put a picture. I hang them around my room. Or if you have seen my craft room tour, you'll see that I have them on like a clothesline all around my craft room. So what do you do with yours? Where do you store them? Do you keep them in a book? Do you keep them, or do you give them away, or what do you do with yours? Thanks again for being here and watching me kind of go from I don't know what I'm going to do to this. And I think they turned out really pretty. Stamping, putting the black on there, that helped. Putting some color in the focal points, that helped. And I'll put some close-ups on there so you can see the stenciling. I just think it turned out really pretty, just letting the ink run. And then here you can see where we stenciled that yellow or gold color with that flower, or I don't even know what kind of, it was just a decorative stencil. And then here we still have the gold showing back here. So there's a lot. I hope that you can see it on camera. A lot of the stenciling is still showing. So I'm happy about that because I wanted that to make sure that it did shine through. So there we go. Finally, right? It's about an hour and 20 minutes worth of video. I'm going to go and sit down there and watch Walker, Texas Ranger, and do some editing while I'm at it. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you guys on the next video, and we'll see what we're going to do for the stencil collaboration.